How's it
Hello,
going?
hello,
Good.
boys.
Hi.
Yeah, yeah. So, like, no, Q. I think I sent you the picture here. I can actually pull it up right now.
All right, sure, go ahead.
Um,
The picture of Eric Adams.
yeah,
Uh,
friend of the show. We can finally say friend of the show, Felix.
yeah,
With,
yeah. Felix is a legit friend of the show. It's
Yep.
kind of
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So, yeah, you can see he's got this.
Oh my
He's so
god!
cool.
Oh, you know what? I
Yeah.
don't hate it. I'm not mad at it.
Well, here's the thing.
Oh,
So,
he's got the Talwar and everything. You know what? I respect it. You put in work.
because here's the thing. So this isn't actually the first time. If we became like sister cities, I mean, I don't. We wouldn't become sister cities with like Khalistan. We'd have to be like with it's the capital of the or the Punjabi or like the capital
Punjabi
of.
capital? Oh, that's I don't know off
It's
the top of my head.
I forget what it's called. No, Amritsar. There we go.
Oh yeah. You're right.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
actually been there, so I should probably know that.
Yeah, these are all just like places on a map to me because I haven't been.
Yeah,
Been
no.
at all.
So the thing is, Newark actually got in trouble a couple months ago for this. I don't know if you guys remember this.
No.
Nope.
So Newark was duped into they basically had a sister city program, right? Where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, Edmonton is now sister cities with some place in fucking Paraguay or something, like somewhere out in the middle of nowhere, right? Also, can I
Yeah.
swear on YouTube? I feel weird.
You're allowed to swear on YouTube.
Yes, you can.
That's
You
allowed.
can cuss on YouTube.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I always worry. But basically, what ended up happening was they recognized this. They became sister cities with Kailasa,
Okay.
which is basically how do I put this? It's a fake country. It's the equivalent of like Galt's Gulch or Badassia or
Okay.
Kickassia from fucking what's it called? The Nostalgia Critic. It's not a real place. It's basically this Hindu guru bought an island in like off the coast of Ecuador, I think. And fled there to escaping prosecuted for prosecuted for sexual assault, but like I do think in addition to that, the big thing he was going to get prosecuted for was like tax fraud and like embezzlement, just because like I think that like he's a guru, so I'm just going to assume that there's some kind of like weird sex stuff going on there. But yeah, they basically got Newark, New Jersey to partner up with them. And everyone was like, this isn't like a real country, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, like they basically paired up with them. They had to undo it because like, oh yeah, like this is actually like a completely fake country. And if you go to Colossa's website, which it has a website, you can look it up. It's oh, it's getting cloud flared for me, but hold on. There we go. Here, I can actually share it. Shri Kalasa. All
right.
Yeah, it's like a totally fake country. You can apply to get a passport here if you're really interested. I don't necessarily know.
If I got a passport there, what benefit do I get from that?
Unclear, to be quite honest with you. I don't
unlimited samosas at my corner store, or what am I looking at?
I don't think any country recognizes it. So again, like it's one of those weird things where like you don't have Ecuadorian citizenship, but you don't really have like real citizenship to a real country either. They also do the thing that I love, where they stick like lines above all the like lettering, so it looks like Hindi or Sanskrit, but it's just like no,
It's just English.
It's just English.
Just like needless like critics. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's like a casting artifact almost.
No, it's the Punjabi equivalent of like death metal bands putting umlauts above every vowel.
It has a national anthem. I've never. It has this like really dumb looking flag with like the odd. Like I haven't actually heard the tune, but oh, they have a reserve bank. That's good. Can I order Colossan dollars? I need to know more about this. Like, I actually want to get like Colossan money. Don't know if it's actually like a real thing. I'm just looking at the pictures. I'm assuming not. But yeah, no, they hold on. They really got yeah, they kind of got duped with that one. At least New Jersey did. But yeah, I know we want to give like a brief rundown of everything that's going on today.
I mean, it's more insanity, right? Like, well, let's see. Today, I woke up to find out that like the Merkava tank is like just as good as advertised. Absolute sturdy fucking tank. Just an amazing piece of machinery.
It's functioning very well as a tomb.
Yeah. Well, not exactly a tomb, more like an air fryer. Right? Like
more like a brazen bull.
It's not great. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah. I don't have like all the backup stuff. I would need to like fully talk about it, but like, it's not doing super well. I'll put it to you like that.
No, like listen, the Al-Quds, they're putting the IDF in a spliff right now. Like aside from the guerrilla warfare that was just not going to go in their direction in the first place, like everybody said these tanks are pieces of shit. Rory, you actually called it. You were like, yeah, people are really gonna have a great time, especially like all the NATO fellas who are making fun of like the Russian T-90 tanks. Have a great time just like watching the Merkavas in action, and I gotta say it hasn't disappointed. I've been watching the videos, and these aren't like old videos of like previous engagements. Like this stuff is like has just been filmed, and yeah, apparently like the tank is able to like fend off a single rocket. so Hamas improvised by like firing a second rocket after the first, and yeah, these tanks are getting cooked off.
Yeah. Yeah. John Fetterman continues to be John Fetterman.
Oh boy, what do you do now?
He's like at Biden level of just like incoherence at this stage. Like here,
yeah,
pull this up. Yeah.
I am really about making sure that Israel is able to do what Israel deserves to do.
Oh my god! Wow. Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yeah,
what was that?
He's not doing
he needs to adjust his dosages. Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
I mean, I would say he just needs to stop taking doses.
Well,
like, dude, he's like I man, that
just
that stroke
really put him for a little while. Just freeball it for a little while, see what the voice is telling. You know,
that stroke really put him on his ass, man.
Oh yeah, oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, that's again like, well, okay, I'm sorry, that's ableism.
No, it's not.
No,
it's not. No, it's not. Stop it. You know what? If it is ableism, it's acceptable ableism.
Have you considered that he has long COVID?
It's not ableism. It's not ableist to say that a stroke causes major bodily malfunctions. That's not ableist.
and possible like neurological damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not great, dude. He's not super. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's,
by the way, I like that nobody noticed that I shaved the beard. Or not shaved, but I trimmed.
Why would I notice if you trimmed your beard?
Because I'm waiting for somebody to give me a compliment.
You already showed me the other day, and I complimented you. So that's all you get.
I'm just.
I showed Melody at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
You called me up in the middle of the night.
Called her up in the middle of the night. I was like, "Hey, Melody, check this out. Check this out." Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not great. I mean, What else? Like, yeah, there's a lot kind of going. Like, I don't know. Like, do we?
Well, I mean, I here's the thing. Oh, the Toronto Sun, like returning to rare form. I don't know if you saw. There's a lady. She on Twitter and TikTok. She goes by Marxist Cretin. I actually invited her to come by tonight, but she wasn't able to make it tonight. She wanted to come through, but apparently just got caught up with other stuff. But yeah, so I can try and find the original TikTok. But yeah,
I think it's embedded in the Toronto Sun article, actually.
Okay, good. Yeah, so yeah, Melanie, I don't know if you were able to pull up the Toronto Sun. What was it? The Terror Hottie or something like that. But anyway, yeah, this lady records a TikTok basically saying like, no, I don't condemn Hamas, and then she's talking about like all of the war crimes and atrocities the state of Israel is committing against Palestinians, and she says the same thing that like we were saying on Sunday, which is this whole thing where somebody has to condemn Hamas in order to have an opinion about the horrible things that Israel is doing to collectively punish Palestinians. It's a canard. Like they just need to hear you say that so you can like like be controlled into saying something they want you to say. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, no, I don't condemn them. And because of that, like they have doxed this whole lady's life out. They were putting like her child's picture online. Like it was okay, there we go. Yeah. So it's in the Toronto Star and under the Stop Anti-Semitism page. Hang on one second, I'm gonna pull this up. Yeah, so Stop Anti-Semitism sees the TikTok and they're like, recognize this woman? DM us.
Which is such a like they've again okay just
it's basically it's libs of TikTok shit.
Yeah,
Nor will I.
Go ahead.
Like, here's the thing: is she like a big TikToker? Like, I don't know, what's her TikTok?
Her TikTok account, I checked, it was like less than 3,000 followers.
So they're trolling people just to, people with no power in order to pick on them as is,
Here's what it was. I can tell exactly what it was. It was that they were probably just like looking through the hashtag like Free Palestine or something like that, just to find people to, dox or single out or whatever. And they saw her, and I'm sorry, man. I know somebody got horny. I know somebody got, like, the way that she's been covered so far.
Mm-hmm.
Someone got a stiffy and then put it on Twitter. If you recognize her, please let us know. And then, of course, like, people were all too happy.
We're having like we are approaching like Coomer levels of like now.
Oh no, it is straight up like Coomer Zionism. It's crazy because the thing is like, she was showing people the messages that she was getting because she has an OnlyFans, right? Which, I mean, like almost everybody has an OnlyFans nowadays. So she has an OnlyFans, and of course, like they go to her Instagram, they go to her OnlyFans, they like leaked the like still photos from her OnlyFans online, and screen capping pictures from her Instagram, which are like racy boudoir photos, which. Again, like everybody does racy boudoir stuff on Instagram anyway. But then
not on my Instagram. It's all godly.
No, it's all.
There's a bunch of pictures of me in Israel on my Instagram. That was the last time I really updated. It was like 4 years ago. I just don't go on there anymore. Yeah, so like literally, it's just like me at the Dead Sea. So
yeah. When you went on that trip you're talking about, but yeah, so like they posted her and. They posted her pictures online, and they were saying things like, "Oh, what do you think Hamas would do to you? I hope you get R-worded by like, by a jihadist," and saying just like these horrible things. And it's just like, okay, after you start to get so when you start to get a certain amount of descriptive in the things that you're wishing harm on somebody else, it's like now you're actually just telling me about your psyche. Like I kind of feel like you're just giving me a snuff fantasy that I'm very uncomfortable now. Like, yeah, I hope they like rape you in the ass and like Eiffel Tower over your back while you're.
Can we say that, or I thought are we?
Yeah, damn. Can I say that? I don't know. We'll figure it out one day. We'll figure it out if they decide to like age restrict us for this stream. But anyway, man, I fucking hate. I feel like we got spoiled by Rumble because like I hate all of this like rigmarole that you have to do for YouTube just to have a conversation. Honestly,
It's really bad. Like I'm sorry.
It's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Anyway, so yeah, let's hear what she actually said.
I do not now, nor will I ever condemn Hamas. I unequivocally support
hang on,
the
hang on.
liberation movements
Real
of
quick.
all oppressed people around.
Okay. You want to pause it?
This is not the Zionists. The Zionists were upset with her for what she's saying right now. So if you find her hot, hey, I mean, join the club. She is objectively, she is hot. But yeah, she's actually she's one of the good guys.
I do not now, nor will I ever condemn Hamas. I unequivocally support the liberation movements of all oppressed people around the world by any means made necessary. If you have a problem with that, take it up with somebody else, because I do not now.
So I just want to be clear. That's the official position of the Philadelphia podcast as well.
No, we're still undecided.
Fine. It's also my official position. Then I will stand in solidarity with Marxist Cretan there.
So, in response to that, like I said, they dossed her entire life out, and so then the Toronto Star, which I kind of feel like somebody at the Toronto Star must be following my Twitter feed, because it's more than
You
one.
mean Toronto Sun?
Toronto Sun. Whatever. Now they're both owned by right wingers. If you can believe that shit. I honestly feel like somebody at the Sun is following my Twitter feed, because I find it funny that a lot of the shit that I end up talking about ends up, it's like minor stuff, ends up in their paper, and it's this guy here, this guy right here, Brian Lilly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I wrote an article for Maclean's a couple of years ago, just it's slagging capitalism, and this guy writes this long paean, explaining why Maclean's has hired somebody who believes. Terror Temptress, Marxist OnlyFans model unapologetic on Hamas massacre. Wisconsin OnlyFans model is being called the Hamas honey. Here's the thing. Here's what you have to understand about the Toronto Star. They are like an actual tabloid rag. They don't aspire to be anything above that. They are like what the Daily Mail used to be, or what the New York Post aspires to. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, they have. It's not a page 6 girl. They have it's on the back page usually, but they have a Toronto Sun girl. So they'll I don't know.
Can I just say we never had that in the U.S. We're
actually hurting for that.
No, and people used to get mad about it. They used to be like, "Wow, we're such a repressive country." I'm like, "Well, you know what?
Well, here's the thing.
It's a good thing.
It is a good thing, because if you actually see who they put on the page 6s or on the back page, it'll be some busted waitress from Oxy's on the back page, and then they'll put her in a bikini and just photograph her in this really terrible red and black light. It's pretty bad. Your Toronto Sun photograph will probably be the worst photo that you ever take. You could do a better job by yourself with your camera phone and a filter on IG. Anyway, Kayla Goodwin, whose handle is Marxist Cretan, mixes kinky sex with the fanaticism of the Red Guards. She was unearthed from the bowels of the internet by Twitter X account Twitter, or X, formerly Twitter. Why do they say that? It's X, formerly Twitter. Stop Anti-Semitism. In the wake of the Hamas terrorist attack on Israel on October 7th that killed more than 1,400 men, women, and children. Thousands of Palestinian deaths have also followed. No mention how, they just followed. Goodwin was first spotted on a TikTok video celebrating her fealty to Hamas. I do not now, nor will I ever condemn Hamas. I unequivocally support the liberation movements of all oppressed people around the world by any means made necessary, she opined on TikTok. If you have a problem with that, take it up with somebody else. Okay, so she had more than I thought. She had around 7,400 followers on the social media platform, but apparently her page has been taken down. I saw it before it was taken down. It was, bog standard Marxist stuff. On her multitude of social media pages, Goodwin describes herself as a commie micro-propagandist and spicy content creator. And you see how there's just this increasingly racy series of photos Okay. On Instagram, she promises to teach you commie things. One of those things could be the evils of capitalism and how its pornography exploits comrades. People have lifted and posted numerous raunchy Marxist Cretan photos to show the comrade in a variety of sexual situations. And
dude, have they been following
in 2022, the Gaza glamour puss.
I just like the way that they're going with the wow, you cannot be into pornography and a Marxist at the same time. Like they're great.
I like how they're getting increasingly horny with the compliments. You know, they go from honey to glamour puss to temptress. It's like, okay, yeah, you were really horny when you wrote this article.
They're it's one of those weird women that's been just her brain has been completely fried by being on the internet. It's just freaking out about how you can't find people hot and be on the internet and be a Marxist at the same time. You just can't.
No, but I guess they're if they're taking a strict anti-porn stance, then perhaps they're hoss-pilled. I don't know. Maybe they're getting there. OnlyFans. Oh God, Screen Star. Justice for Malky Roth. All right. OnlyFans, are you okay with one of your people, Kayla Goodwin, voicing support for Hamas?
I don't know. What's this woman's out? I want to figure out what her deal is.
Screen Star?
No, the woman who's saying this.
Oh, yeah, Screen Star. Yeah, Justice for Malky Roth. All right, I'll send you the link right now. Yeah, please go down a rabbit hole on this one because I feel like we find a lot of guys.
No, this is a woman, by the way.
Yeah, but she's still a guy. When I say a guy, she's a weird guy. Do you really want to be associated with terrorist supporters?
Well, okay, Melanie, what's a film publicist / professor?
A film publicist? That's somebody. That's somebody who does publicity for movies.
Okay.
Yeah, they arrange interviews, with cast.
So I'm guessing she's
and crew and all that.
She's probably a communications professor. Kayla's okay. Well, hold on. In 2012, the Gaza glamour puss turned to GoFundMe because she was being evicted. In addition to rent.
Okay, this is just depressing. We don't need to go into this. I was not.
That's just
it doesn't go anywhere. Cruel. Yeah, they're just
now they're just you're on OnlyFans. They're basically doing the equivalent of when guys are OnlyFans in profile. Oh, GoFundMe in profile. Shut up, busted hoe, broke chick. You know, it's the same thing.
Yeah, they're poor shaming.
I like browsing her page. I guess Gal Gadot is now in Israel for army service. So that's nice.
I hope they back her ass up too. To be honest.
My God!
I hope they put her in a Merkava.
Oh boy, we've got.
What's that?
So I know that people are oh, not everybody in the settlements are American. Spent the day in a closed military zone visiting communities hit by Hamas. Grenades thrown at children, mothers were alive, blah, blah, blah. These weren't tragic accidents. I like how we had to include that. Who is saying that this was a tragic accident? What? The screen I'm sharing. Yeah, who is saying that?
What is he referring to as a tragic accident? These weren't. Okay, sorry, I couldn't see.
Yeah, the communities hit by Hamas. Killing kids was the military objective, and it will be their objective tomorrow. Serious people except Hamas must go. Now, all right, we got him.
Here's the thing. Whenever
wait, before you get into this.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
They got they literally have a live, laugh, love TJ
I know,
Maxx.
I'm not allowed to laugh.
I'm allowed to come on. That they really had to include you know that this guy thought this you guys you know that this guy was this is gonna reach out and touch people at home. They're gonna be reminded of their own home and everybody else is just wait, why is this
there is listen right now there's a
bless this mass It's just like, what?
There's a 5'9", like brunette with her hair in like like long ringlets who's wearing like
No, she's got one of those.
No, hold on.
No, she's got beach waves.
Oh yeah, okay, sure, beach wave. But she's got like cream colored yoga tights on right now, and just came home and took off her her Uggs boots, and is seeing this breaking in half.
That's early 2000s.
What? No, dude, women wear Uggs right now. What are you talking about?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, but it's not like the. Again, it's not the
Los Angeles in the fall is
now.
Like
it's like thigh highs. It's like thigh highs. It's like leather thigh high boots.
They also wear riding boots. Yeah, they wear thigh highs, but they're wearing Uggs. I'm telling you, they're wearing Uggs. They just came from outside. They're wearing Uggs.
Yeah. No, it's like obviously they're American. So
like, yeah. I mean, was anybody saying that what was
also,
it? Operation...
By the way, this is just a dirty mattress. Like, this isn't even.
Yeah, I know. Like, what is this supposed to be showing me?
It's just kind of gross.
Like that just.
Dude, hit that with some.
You tried to scrub out dookie stains on that mattress. I don't know what I'm supposed to be seeing there.
Yeah, we got what looks like again, this just looks like every Airbnb I stay at. like this just looks like the average like Airbnb in 2023. They charge like $300 a night. It's like more than a Hilton, and it's like you get to stay in a house that looks like this probably. It literally has this decor.
It absolutely has that sign in it.
It's either that sign or it's like one of those IKEA pictures.
Did I ever tell you about the haunted Airbnb I stayed at when I went to Buffalo to cover the top shooting?
No, was it you and Frederick Joseph should like team up on that? Like haunted.
No, it was. Well, I mean, somebody had died there, not in a pleasant way. Because I was actually hearing, so like they were renting out the ground floor, like the ground level floor of the Airbnb. Upstairs was not like available. It was just the ground side. So what I got what it was that like they bought the home and then they renovated the ground floor for use as the Airbnb, and they hadn't finished with the upstairs yet. But then I was like hearing noises from upstairs, and I was like, okay, I know I'm the only person that's renting in here. So there's like a way to get upstairs from the front, which is locked, but there's also a way to get upstairs like from the back porch. So I go upstairs, and like it looked like they hadn't really done a lot of work since buying the home and since whatever tragedy happened at that home had happened. Not like there was like there wasn't like a
hold on. Maybe they had it coming. Let's not call it a tragedy.
Fair enough. They didn't like have a chalk outline, but you could tell it was like in the same state of disarray that it was when they bought it from the previous owner. Even with like furniture and like blankets on the bed and everything. So I like put Islamic prayers on my phone and just like left them on all night. I was like, no, I'm just like I need protection here. I can't just be like sleeping here and was spiritually unguarded. And
grandmother.
Dude, listen,
you need like a priest to come bless the house.
Well, I mean, no, we don't.
Wait, I think Harry Potter was gonna burst out with like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
No, but yeah, I just happen to believe that the material world isn't as material as we'd like to think. That's all I'm saying. And no, like we don't have exorcists. We do battle with the demons ourselves.
You just have YouTube videos, which is even lamer. We at least have like an exorcist school. Like, hey, we actually and Islam calls itself the more scholastic religion.
It is.
Oh yeah, put on the top 10 hadiths to like fall asleep to keep away the ghosts in our murder house. Ooh.
Fair enough. Anyway, yeah. So the whatchamacallit, the responses I woke up to this morning, because I got a little bit fed up yesterday, right? Okay, Michael Rappaport, we'll get to him in a second. He's on a different type of time, and I really actually enjoy what it was that made him kind of lose it over the last couple of days.
Oh, sorry. Like, am I so?
Oh no, Michael Rappaport got upset because you know those posters that people have been putting up, like the missing persons posters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple are really hot. I'm guessing. I don't know if they're.
Let's not go really hot, but one of them was pretty cute.
Here's the thing, man. This listen. A lot of people, and we can look this up and see for ourselves. But there was a girl in like a green sweater and a black bubble jacket, and a girl in like she was wearing like a two top sweater and like a black, like a long black coat. And I gotta say, homegirl in the long black coat, I know she rolls the fuck out of a blunt, bro. You ever look at somebody
That's not a sign that someone's hot. That's a sign that they're like
it's hot. It's hot to me. It's hot to me. Okay, it is.
She can make one. She can make
haram.
one like a homemade.
Drugs
cigarette.
are haram.
No, marijuana is actually not necessarily haram. It really depends on which. It depends on which school. Depends on which school.
Oh,
okay.
Alcohol is.
Please, lax Muslim you are.
Marijuana is medically necessary. I'm not. Hold on. I haven't actually smoked up in a couple of years. I actually haven't smoked up anything since converting or reverting. However, it is allowable because marijuana is medically necessary for me. So,
come on. Oh, like God is cool with it if you have a prescription.
Yes, yes. I'm not permitted.
Actually, this
I'm not even
like.
I'll not permit you to get smoked up if you need it medically.
I got a doctor's note. I don't have to do that.
Allah had the foresight. Allah had foresight about capitalism and its woes.
You can let dogs into Jannah because they're like service animals.
No, see, like all the other drugs, like that's those are from the times of like Jahiliyyah, but marijuana on the other hand, no.
What about meth?
No, not permissible. No, what are you talking about?
Okay, so alcohol.
If meth is made in the form of Ritalin, then yeah, it's no longer haram.
What if I don't have a prescription for it?
Well, then you're just going to hell. You're going to Jahannam. Sorry, buddy.
What if I go to like a really sketchy doctor? Like how? What if he's not?
Do they have an MD's license?
What if they're Jewish?
No, hold on. No, hang on. If it's kosher, then it's also halal. Wait, we have a nice little loophole set up like that. I'm not even kidding.
So any drug is halal if it's medically prescribed, but your intentions matter when you need. Look into your heart.
I didn't say your intent. I didn't say anything about that. I just said if it is medically necessary, it has nothing to do with your intentions.
No, I think it does have to do with you. I'm going to be completely honest. I think that's a better argument than if my fucking Israeli doctor prescribes it for me.
The Islamic equivalent of like Catholic sex, like still a virgin,
Yeah, it's like no, like this is
in the vagina, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, see, I don't. This is why we just don't ban. We don't ban like alcohol because it's it's fine.
Yeah, how's that working out for the Irish?
It's fine. We actually don't have that high of a alcohol. Like we're on par with any other country. Actually, surprisingly, no, Irish people are weird.
I actually do know this. I know
they're not that bad. No, Russians are the ones that are bad. And honestly, be real,
bro. Russians, listen.
Also, a lot of Qataris are really bad too. Emiratis in general,
Gulf states in general, they go ham.
So do like Kazakhs too, even though they are like Muslim. Dude, Central Asian Muslims kind of go hard.
The Caucasus Muslims are on a different type of time. I think it's like the proximity to Russia that does this to them.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, although I don't know of Dagestanis being like that. I haven't met any myself, and I've never heard that. But Kazakhs, yeah, definitely
are. I get the feeling.
The Kazakhs, the Uzbeks, they get yeah.
I feel like Dagestanis also kind of get drunk too. I think that
if they do, they keep it to themselves.
Well, here's the thing. Most of the time you see a Dagestani, it's an MMA, and so they're probably just not drinking because like they're doing MMA.
They're trying to cut weight and everything.
Yeah, they're trying to like cut
weight. I know, but I will say that like I've met more than a few Chechens in my lifetime, and I didn't know them to be drinkers. So I don't know. I honestly do not know. In the chat, help us out. I'm not sure if the Chechens are drinkers or not. Although you look at homeboy, base Chechen. What's why am I forgetting his name?
Ramzan Kadyrov.
Ramzan Kadyrov. You think he's a drinker? I think he is.
Yeah.
I have no idea who that is.
Well, his dad was like,
Ramzan?
although I don't know, because his dad was he was a cleric, I think.
Ramzan?
Yeah, his dad was a pretty big cleric, I think, in the Caucasus. Like the heart of
Amyatsin. But okay, shout out to friend of the show Amyatsin. I do read the chat. It's just that I had the screen enlarged. I was reading it for a second. But anyway, yes.
Ramzan Kadyrov's dad, like the heart of Chechnya. It's like the really big mosque in Gori, I think. That's named after his dad, who was like a cleric. So like I actually like what?
I didn't know
Ramzan might actually be like
keeps
pretty strict. Yeah, he probably does. Like if that's his kind of background. Also, Putin's not a big drinker either, so I think Putin's not completely sober.
Well, I mean, look at his predecessor. Like he probably saw the dangers of like a little bit on the job firsthand.
Yeah, no, like they are absolutely insane about that. So again, I think that
his homeboy's his predecessor Yeltsin, that dude was. I mean,
he was a complete.
He would literally like get off of a plane and like piss on the wheels drunk.
No, he legitimately he fell down the stairs of the plane in like the Limerick airport, and not because he was like mentally compromised like Biden.
No, he was sauce, buddy.
Yeah, dude. Which I mean, now we don't even have to worry about it because like every U.S. politician now is just like 900 years old. And just falls down the stairs just on their own accord. So
what the fuck is up with your American gerontocracy?
We just don't like nobody can tell anyone to retire. Like you're not allowed to make fun of people for being old now. Like it's
okay. Hang on. Can I just? There are things that like you're not allowed to make fun of people for, right? Which I completely understand. Sometimes, certain things are just not funny and should not be subject to like this idea of
no. Amyatsin is right though. It is hustle culture. Like that is 100% it. Like it's because the thing is like people are like, well, in America you're forced to work until you're a million years old because you only earn minimum
Americans
wage.
love a good deal. America's hustle culture.
But like a lot of these people, like they don't need to stay in. Like the people that
they do this for love of the game.
Yeah, no, they work like the people that work the longest. They don't have to retire, or like they don't have to stay in work. Like they
listen. Everybody thinks that like the Walmart greeter is like they're working because their pension, if they have not paying enough, and in a lot of cases
some cases, yeah.
But I will say, there's a lot of old people that just have nothing to do with their time, so this is what they do instead. But I was
they just
okay. So like things you're not allowed to make fun of people for, right? I really got to say, dude, Zionists are opening like forbidden doors to comedy that should not be opened. I'm sorry. How are you going to see some shit like this and then not be allowed to make fun of it?
You're going to start seeing this image all over social media. I figured I would try to explain what it means. Would you hide me? It means that Jewish people all over the world are under attack. And we are so scared that another Holocaust is going to happen.
Now, as she's saying this, just look in the background. Look in the where is she right now?
I'm looking.
She's in the bathroom, dude. Like first of all, you should never
film. In the bathroom. She's in the bathroom of a posh hotel. That's where she is.
Dude, like can I just say, like you should never film anything in the bathroom.
Don't
like, let's be
right.
No. I don't want to think about it. Like do you think that she took like a dump before this started? Or, like, she was gonna film it, but then she had to take a dump, and so then she set up the ring light and like left the bathroom for like 20 minutes. And, like
20 minutes, and then but now there's like doo-doo particles all over the phone.
Well, no, like it smelled bad, so she had to let it like air out, and then she came back in to film this. Also, like, dude, this is like, well, I don't know. Maybe this isn't. Here's the thing. I'm gonna actually say this. This might not be a hotel, and I'll tell you why.
No, it's probably you could be right.
because the vanity mirror has like a space in it, and usually hotels won't do that because it creates another place that maids have to clean out. So
yeah. No, you're right.
There's a possibility that this is just her house.
It's just a really tacky bathroom.
It's really tacky though. Like
yeah.
I'm surprised that like maybe she's like one of those like Persian Jews because like that is. No, I'm not kidding. This is like what a Persian like. If you're like a wealthy, this is just what your house just looks like. This.
I know. Like, I'm very familiar. I know.
Yeah, it's like your dad's like a plastic surgeon or something. Like,
Matt, I grew up in LA. I remember. I'm familiar with this ilk.
Yeah, so you're just like I need to feel safe and every single floor in our house is going to be made of marble for some reason.
Listen,
that's Indians too, by the
way. You're both not going to appreciate this, but listen, bro. Can I say something? About everybody getting mad?
Oh, are we talking about Persian houses still?
No.
During the Holocaust, Jews were torn out of their homes.
Bro, I'm just. That's a lot of sweater meat, is all I'm saying. A lot of sweater meat. Anyway.
And had no safe place to go unless one of their neighbors who wasn't Jewish would take them in and hide them. The Nazis were a terrorist organization.
No, I'm serious. I can't.
No, you know what? Though?
Wait, hold on. The Nazis were like the Nazis were a terrorist organization. I feel like I don't know. Maybe.
Do you think that fits the definition of terror, or are we?
I feel like they're just like I'm not trying to say they're like good. I'm just trying to say like I don't know if I would.
On this freeze frame, I'm just gonna agree with whatever she says. Fuck it.
The only thing I'm gonna say about the titty meat Q is she needs a better bra, man. Those things are hanging way too low.
It doesn't like regardless. Would you necessarily describe the Nazis as a terror organization? I would just say that they were like a genocidal. I also like that they felt the need to say like, just in case you don't know what who the Nazis are, just in case we need to bringing you up to speed here on this guy Adolf Hitler. Imagine if Hamas was in Germany. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody knows who the Nazis are. We didn't need that introduction. Also, like everybody, look, I'll be honest. Everybody knows who Anne Frank is. We don't need to be explained what "would you hide me" means.
Mm-hmm.
Like this again. This is like a 19-year-old who has no idea what she's talking. Like it's like just in case you're like a moron who's never heard of history. Like,
well, every acquisition of projection. Right?
All right, let's keep playing here.
Yeah, let's keep going. Also, no. I'm just trying to find a way to talk about her migrating lip filler in a way that's not going to make me sound anti-Semitic. That's all I'm trying to say.
It's not actually. Let me see. It's not bad.
It's when she like forms certain shapes when she forms certain shape with her mouth. It's like
it's not. It's actually not
with the corners of your mouth like that. Yeah.
I will say it's not a terrible filler job.
It's not the worst. It's when she puts her mouth in certain shapes. It's like, oh, I can see where it.
Yeah, if you like pause.
Caution to thinking there should be no more Jews. 6 million Jewish people were murdered during the Holocaust. The fact is, the Nazis did not stop at Jews. They wanted to kill black people, gay people, disabled people. Millions of these groups were murdered.
They want to kill black people? Hold on.
Were you really on his radar like that? I mean,
I don't think he was especially fans of them, but I don't think he was like.
No, here's what it was. Is that so the Germans like had committed like some serious atrocities against the Herero in I'm about to say
Namibia.
I was like, what the fuck am I about to say? Zimbabwe.
Look at me having all the facts.
I know, right? You the Africanist in here. Yeah.
The
Afrocentrist. But anyway, like, yeah, sure. But were there millions of black people living in Germany at the time? I don't know. I'm a historian.
It'd be like the KKK was against black people, Jews, Uyghurs. You're like, I don't think against those. Yeah. I don't think we had a lot of those hanging around.
Yeah, the KKK was against, I don't know, like fucking Vietnamese. I don't know.
World when you're hosting anti-Israel rallies, chanting and parading the streets, saying to end all Jews. We truly are so scared that another Holocaust is going to happen.
Are you
really?
really?
Well, here's the thing. I also like the way that they can't even really like call out like Palestinian anti-Semitism because of TikTok's filters. So it's like they want to end all Jews. What does that mean?
Wait, what do you mean?
I don't think she was trying to say they were trying to end all Jews. I think she was trying to say we should like, the K word. I don't think I'm allowed to say on YouTube.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I'm just like scared another Holocaust is going to happen. By whom? Okay, sorry. Let me get right to the meat here.
Jewish people right now are asking if we're safe in public or on campuses. At some point, are we not going to be safe in our own homes? Jewish people are looking around right now, wondering if our non-Jewish friends and neighbors would take us in if we're unsafe. We're wondering right now that if the families we grew up with are non-Jewish in our neighborhood would take us in or turn their backs on us. So when you see this image and wonder what it means, I am asking you, would you hide me?
Bro.
No, I wouldn't. Well, I know Q would, but I wouldn't.
Well, what I like, dude, your aesthetic sense is quite bad. So, again, it's just people like throwing a fucking temper tantrum. Also, like nobody has basements anymore. Like, what am I supposed to do? Hide you in my apartment building? Like, the thing about the Franks is that they had like an entire apartment block they could hide them in, or whoever the.
No, hide her in the bathroom. She seems to like hanging out there.
Yeah, like where would I hide you? Like, like hide under my bed? Like dude, I'm sharing an apartment. I don't know what you want me to do. Like there's barely enough room in this as is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on now, man.
Yeah. I just
no,
here's the thing. Why would you ask people that question? Because anybody who says, yes, I would hide you, assuming that she's
you're getting put on a list.
Hold on, assuming that she's taking this seriously, and this is an actual strategy to like for Jewish people to find assistance in case another Holocaust does happen. If I say yes, I would hide you on social media, doesn't that negate the safety you've just achieved for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. What if these are the Nazis and they're using this as a way, like a honeypot?
Oh shit!
Would you hide me? Fill out this email certification. Tell me why. It's like, and then you get put on a list. See, nobody's doing OPSEC in these organizations. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
No, it's the same thing with those like missing posters where it's like, wow, I can't believe someone would tear down a missing children's poster. It's like,
yeah.
Do you really think that they're like an actual missing children's poster?
They're missing from Greenwich Village, you know?
Yeah, like they're like, oh yeah, like just keep your eyes out. I know the chances of them being in like Los Angeles are pretty low, but if the off chance that Hamas decided to like basically do like reverse birthright to like bring them back to New York, like just in case they are, like just keep an eye out for this kid. Like, come on, no, like they're not.
Can I just show the funniest response to this that I saw so far?
Let's see.
Sure.
Oh, I can do that. Oh yeah, I can do that. What? I mean, it's only new, so gotta give me a reason to do that. You know what I mean?
Again, this is just, I'm sorry, this is the most Coomer war we've ever had.
I know. It's
Reddit was
insane.
Reddit was the most, or the Ukraine conflict was the most cringe war we've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
It was the most cringe Reddit conflict. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, Ukraine was more cringe in Reddit than this, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Also,
but this is very Coomer.
This is the most Coomer conflict we've ever had. I don't know what is going on. Sorry, like my computer just had a
haywire.
Oh, hold on. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Can I just?
Okay,
good. That I had someone say to me today that there were Hamas R-worded 1,400 women and babies.
How would you do that to a baby?
Not unalived. I really hate talking about this. Not removed from the census.
I'm already like.
I know. I'm already starting to like. My hackles are going up.
This this sucks.
No, I have to agree. Rumble is superior. We're allowed to speak a lot more freely over there.
It's
well, I know this sounds like
sorry. Listen,
freedom
on Rumble, I
space.
don't have to talk like an R word. How about that?
Mhm.
Yeah, like Tartarino. I don't even know. Like I just this sucks. I hate talking like
Yeah.
this.
Whatever. We'll just say what we want and then let the chips fall where they may. But yeah, 1,400 women and babies. How the fuck would you even manage that?
Yeah, no. When you are when you are planning an incursion that took for months, maybe even a year, 2 years at least to plan, yeah, you're really gonna stop in the middle of your incursion to do mass rapes when you're trying to
I can't
move.
say that.
Not allowed to say it.
Not allowed to say it.
But hold on.
It's
women and babies. Now, see, here's the thing: they were claiming 1,400 deaths, right? Previously from the incursion. Now and then they kind of like snuck like our word in there, and like at the music festival, that's where that's supposed to be happen. But then it was like at the music festival and at the kibitz. Then it was like beheading babies. Then it was like putting babies in ovens. Now it's like 1,400 women.
That was so funny that they got to what's his face, that absolute balloon boy, what's his name, John Podhoretz.
Oh yeah. They put babies in ovens.
They're putting babies in ovens.
Dude, I have to ask because this is getting really stupid for me now, right? Do you how far does this actually have to go before people say, "Yeah, I'm not doing this anymore"?
No, people already are starting to be like. Here's the thing. I don't think that Hasbara is meant to go on this long. Like, I think that's the biggest problem. Is
like the one-offs, yeah.
It's supposed to last like a week of just distraction, but now it's like they have to just keep going, and it's like, oh, they're just running out of things to say.
Yeah.
It's like, like for the first week, I think a lot of people were like, oh, well, maybe this is happening, and then, but now it's just like, okay, you're just making shit up.
Well, here's the thing:
sorry.
they put much effort into denying the hospital bombing, and now they're not even trying to deny that they bombed the refugee camp. They're not even trying. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, they're not. They're just like, oh yeah, there's like some Hamas captain was hanging around there. Like,
even Wolf Blitzer was like, okay, but there were also a lot of civilians in the area. Wolf Blitzer, by the way, who used to be like an APAC employee, says, yeah, but there were civilians in the area. And IDF guy is like, well, yes, but we told them not to be there, and we're trying to reduce civilian casualties. Yeah, it was like, no, hang on. So, assuming that there was a senior Hamas commander there was also like hundreds of civilians there. So you're telling me that you just bombed civilians?
Hold on, but here's the clip. Yeah. There you go.
No, it was wild because I don't think I've ever seen somebody from the IDF get caught this flat-footed by an American interviewer before. And of all people.
Wolf Blitzer, former APAC of all people, though I honestly could not tell if he was dejected because of the inhumanity or because he couldn't believe how badly this IDF spokesperson was fumbling his fucking job.
Hey, bro, you come on, man. Like, you got to give me something better than this. I can't run with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I can. We were focused again on our target, a senior commander, Wolf, and we'll be updating you with more data as the hour moves ahead.
But even if that Hamas commander was there amidst all those Palestinian refugees who were in that Jabalia refugee camp, Israel still went ahead and dropped a bomb there, attempting to kill this Hamas commander, knowing that a lot of innocent civilians, men, women, and children, presumably would be killed. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's not what you're hearing, Wolf. We're focused on this commander. Again, you'll get more data who this man was. Killed many Israelis. We're doing everything we can. It's a very complicated space. There could be infrastructure there. There could be tunnels there. We're still looking at it, and we'll give you more data as our moves ahead.
but you know that there are a lot of refugees, a lot of innocent civilians, women and children in that refugee camp as well, right?
That's the tragedy of war, Wolf. I mean, we, as you know, we've been saying for days, move south. Civilians that are not involved with Hamas, please move south.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a little bit more information. You knew there were civilians, you knew there were refugees, sorts of refugees, but you decided to still drop a bomb on that refugee camp, attempting to kill the Hamas commander. By the way, was he killed?
I can't confirm yet. There'll be more updated. Yes, we know that he was killed. About the civilians there, doing everything we can to minimize. I'll say it again. Sadly, they are hiding themselves within civilian population. And again, we are doing this stage by stage, and we're going to go after every one of these terrorists who was involved in that Kiev attack on the 7th of October. Wolf.
Lieutenant Colonel, I'm having trouble hearing you, but let me move on. I assume you can still hear me.
Okay, I just want to be clear about something. I'm supposed to believe. Yeah. I'm supposed to believe the IDF, who missed that October 7th was happening, all of a sudden can pinpoint exactly where Hamas military commander is.
Like, whose name they won't tell us, by the way.
I'm supposed to buy this, yeah. Whose name they won't tell us. I was initially seeing reports that this commander wasn't even there. Now they're saying they did kill him. I saw some people saying they didn't. So, yeah.
No, this is just all very. I'm sorry, this is all just stupid.
I know.
Sorry, like this.
It's always hard to like say something funny about this because what the fuck did I just watch?
Well, it's the thing is like again, it's not supposed to be going on this long. Like it's not supposed to be like you're not supposed to have this much like nonstop coverage because eventually they just start like they flip the cards back to the beginning again and just start all over again. Like it's like oh yeah, now we're back to just like really. They're doing bad stuff again. That's all the same stuff you heard about 3 weeks ago. Only now it's slightly again. It's like, of course, like, and nobody, again, we're at this stage now where like nobody really cares that much anymore, like about whether or not something is true or not. It's just, we're just like, if you're a pro-Palestinian person, you're just a pro-Palestinian person now. Like, that's just it. If you're like pro-Israeli, you're just going to dig yourself deeper into like the pro-Israeli camp. Like, that's it. Like, there's no out from that, honestly.
No, I mean, you go far enough down that path, you just end up becoming Blake Flayton. But everyone has pretty much already staked out their position. And even the people that are just like, two-state solution or whatever, I think they're actually starting to get tired of this too. You know what I mean? Like the centrists who love to stake out a position where they get to like criticize the extreme left and the extreme right for. Listen, I don't really care about what the reasons are. They probably just like touch themselves at night to it. But yeah, like even they're starting to get tired of this shit. I can tell. Because what I see is a lot of centrist types desperately trying to talk about something else. Like people kind of want to move on. Yeah, nobody wants to feel bad about this anymore.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, Ukraine, they got to feel fantastic about themselves, right?
Yeah. Oh, they were feeling themselves.
And let's keep it real. Our beloved, Mueller, she wrote, and others are pissed at the attention this is taking away from Ukraine, which is why they've started tying Russia and Hamas together in their posts, as I've been keeping an eye on them, because they just want to bring attention back to Ukraine because that's the war they feel good about. Americans have for a long time just wanted to feel good about a war again, and Ukraine gave the ones who wanted to feel good about America again that feeling.
Yeah,
you're not going to get a good feeling like bombing barefoot children,
Nope.
And like pregnant mothers in the hospital.
Nope.
What an uplift.
We can move on to fun stuff, okay, Rory? What do you want to do next?
Yeah, like blood libel.
Yeah, let's talk about blood libel.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, I was just gonna I don't know. I just think there's a certain point where we just I don't know
Okay, can I just tell you, by the way, the moment where the entire conversation just died, where like this entire discourse died. Not that like people don't still care about about the ongoing war and whatever, right? But like we have now reached like the terminal point of the discourse. You know what? It always happens when it becomes gender war. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I saw a tweet earlier today. And it actually like I was like, oh, that's that good stuff that I've missed. It's been like a solid 2 weeks since we had one of these. Uh, hang on, just 1 second here. There you go. Girls and women in Gaza are going through C-sections without anesthesia, chemically delaying their periods and not being provided any privacy. Still, there is no exclusive call for their release among the majority of pro-Palestine. Why, by the way, is she like putting these characters in the whatever pro-Palestine?
I think that like there's again, it's like people are worried that they're gonna be like
Yeah,
Okay.
deboosted
deboosted.
if they use certain words.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's no exclusive call for the relief among the majority of pro-Palestine activists concerned only about M3N. Like it's over now. It's over. You killed it. It's over. You know, people still care.
Well, is it? Did she say anything else? Because like,
let's see. She also.
It gets worse.
Oh
from there.
yeah,
I'm trying to say that one is that's the soft. That's it. Like you picked the
Yeah,
softest.
that was
right.
from what I recall in the Discord. That's the soft intro.
This very much tells us again that no one cares about women's lives, even during genocide and war. Everyone only cares about men's issues with no regard for the immense suffering subjected to. Listen, I am a humanitarian. I would not wish anybody to be subjected to women.
God, I fucking hate feminists so much.
No. The immense suffering subjected to women. I feel bad for the suffering that has to go through the trauma of having to put up with women.
I will never make it.
I will never stop making it about girls and women first because the whole world of M3N hates us and still expects us to care about it.
Honestly, here's the thing. Can I be real with you? I'm kind of sick of these, like, even having to care about these people. Like, because none of them matter. Like, all of these people, like, they're losers. Like, I'm sorry, they don't make any money. They don't work important jobs. They're never going anywhere with their lives. They just run like the Rod and Todd Gazette to like share it to each other. Like that's again, like these are people that you can just ignore. It's like the same thing with like long COVID people or like people who are no, I mean I'm serious. Like like people with like fibromyalgia. Like no, they're shut-ins. They remain locked in their home. You don't need to listen to them. This is it. This is the only way they can make any kind of impact in the world because they don't go outside. Yeah. They don't deal with other people. They don't deal with any of this shit. Like you can like I'm sorry, you can just ignore them. I'm sorry. Like and people are like, well, they have their own story they can share. I don't care. I'm sorry. Like I say,
Ami Alton just
I will tell you this. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. There's some people are marginalized in society for race. Some people are marginalized in society for gender. And some people are marginalized in society because, frankly, they belong on the margins.
Some people are marginalized in society because they probably should be. I don't know.
Yeah, because they deserve it. Like I'm sorry. You're insane. Like you shouldn't be in like proper society.
Well, remember how we
and so I just it's like, wow, look at this crazy thing this crazy person said. It's like, I don't care. Whatever. Like, what's she going to do? She's going to be like running like a GoFundMe because she like broke her leg. She's going to be running a like it's this woman is like a nonstop like cavalcade of GoFundMes for the next 10 years while she gets like a degree. It's like nobody cares about. Like it's just stupid. Like these people are all idiots. Like, and I'm sorry. It's like, they're overeducated, underemployed, and just unnecessary.
And inflicted on the rest of us. Yeah,
yeah. Like I'm sorry. Like if you can't work a job, like there's a lot of people with stupid fake jobs. These people don't even have stupid fake jobs. They just don't have jobs. I don't need to listen to you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't care. Like you aren't important. You're never going to be important. You're never going to be meaningful. You just get mad at stuff.
Okay, you want to? We were talking about like found a gal, right? You want to see a gal? Like you want to see I actually got into a little bit of lore on a particular gal. By the way, a Gamergate gal. I found this out.
Yeah, they're still caught up with Gamergate shit. That's
This is crazy. I didn't. Well, here's the thing. I didn't realize that they were okay. So I got fed up when somebody was saying to me that like Jews don't feel safe because it was just an argument about like why do Jewish people need a homeland? Why is it necessary? Why do you get to have a homeland? It's like I don't have a homeland. I don't have a birthright. I mean, look, I gotta put up with being here. I'm a black person. I'm a black person, and
no, like just don't. Again, I know. Like, this is why I've been dismissing indigenous people. I've been dismissing LGBTQ people, and no, I feel great doing it. I'll keep doing it. These are not people I need to listen to. I'm sorry. This idea that we all have to listen to people. I don't. Sorry. I don't. I'm sick of it. No, it's stupid. It's like listening. Who we have to listen to. It's like a bunch of like. Oh,
I know.
Rory said no motherfucking bodies in my space.
No, I like again, like this is why I don't really follow leftist politics. I don't really follow any of this shit because it sucks. It's just like the 15 of the biggest losers in the world arguing which one of them sucks the most. I don't care. You all suck.
No, that's very true. That's
sorry. I don't.
That's how I feel, particularly about streamer discourse, left streamer discourse.
I feel like every stream we do, I'm like pushing Rory closer and closer to just saying the N-word.
I just don't like. I'm sorry. I just don't care anymore. I just like this. I've been sick of this for a while, but it's like. It's the same thing with this indigenous shit. What the fuck does that word even mean?
It doesn't have any meaning anymore.
It doesn't mean anything. It just means like, do you look like Johnny Depp in The Lone Ranger? Do you have a crow stapled to your head? If you do, or if you kind of seem like the kind of guy that would have like a crow stapled to your head, you're indigenous. Good job, you got one. If you're like a normal guy that like works job, that has like a car. Nah, sorry, you're not indigenous anymore. Like, you know,
no, like, I'm sorry. No, it died when people started.
You're right. You can say you're. How dare you say that?
No, when people started saying they were indigenous to Israel, that's again like declaring time of death. Declaring time of death. That's
it died when they started. Jamming every color into the rainbow flag. That's when it died.
Like it can in one country it can mean something particular, but once you're on the internet with like a billion people in like a bunch of different countries, it doesn't mean anything anymore. Like are British people indigenous to Britain? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. What does that mean? Maybe, I guess. What is like, and then it's like, well, are British people the natural stewards of Britain? The fuck does that mean?
You did make a living off of them swamps for a pretty long time, so I guess so.
Yeah, I guess, but then it's like, again, it's like, well, hold on. If they're indigenous to Britain, then what? All like the Industrial Revolution, what happened with that? Like, was that like not? Was that just like the indigenous people like having a goopsie oopsie whoopsie? No. Oh, it just turns out that they actually like that like there nobody has any inherent understanding of any inherent part of the world. Like are like Scandinavians just naturally able to put up with the cold better? Like it's like they want to do like World of Warcraft races, but in the real world. Yeah. It's like it's RPG shit.
It's Bethesda, like Bethesda race selection.
Yeah, like you're a Nord. You get like +5 debuff to.
Yeah, I'm a red guard. I get +5 rage.
Yeah, it's like put on like it's like white people are never gonna survive the sun because of global warming. I'll put on a hat, dude. Problem solved. Done. You got any other problems?
Skin cancer, asshole.
Put on a hat.
You know that Israel has like the highest.
I'll use my ancient indigenous knowledge to make something called a hat.
You know,
our wise white the ancient white elders taught us the secrets of just putting on a hat and like maybe long sleeves. Wow, I've overcome this powerful, unstoppable force that is the sun. Just put on a hat, dude. Like, problem solved. Put on a sombrero. Oh no, we've
culturally appropriated.
Oh no, we've negated your -5 debuff. Oh no, what? Like, get out of here. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just sick of it. It's so like, and this. I'm sorry. This Israel discourse is where it like really starts to show just how meaningless this all is. Just how just how easily all this shit can just be like, all this stuff that we all thought was so important, and we need to talk about decolonizing things for BIPOC or whatever, just whatever these words were.
First of all, I was never on that BIPOC bandwagon. Okay.
No, that you had to have like at least $200,000 in student loan debt to care about BIPOC. Like, that was like you had to have at least like 40. You had to be in college for like 15 years.
You needed to be like pivoting towards a media career, really. You know.
No, dude, not even that. You needed to be pivoting towards academia, which is. You weren't sure if you really wanted to get into a media career or wanted to be like an adjunct professor for the rest of your life, and you're like, I think I'm going to get into BIPOC. It's like, no,
it beats sleeping under your desk because you can't pay rent.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all of this, and now we're seeing where it ends up, right? It just ends up with bullshit. Like, it's just meaningless garbage that's being flung in our faces. Like, we have to pretend that like somebody from Brooklyn is indigenous to the Middle East. We have to pretend like everybody's afraid of Hamas doing Muslimic style flying carpet attacks in like Bed-Stuy. Like, it's just fantasy. It's like but it always was fantasy. It was always fantasy. And I think that's the big problem that for me drives me the most insane about all of this, is that it was always fantasy. There was never a point when this had any meaning. It was always the same grasping, annoying kind of person that was running this discourse when it was about indigenous people, when it was about BLM. It was the same awful, annoying person from every group in America. And now it's just like the most annoying, which is just slightly off-white white chicks. And that's just the point where it's like, oh, now it's all suddenly.
I have a tweet that I saw today that sums up your point very well.
No, hold on. I feel like this is worth the while. All right. So, I got annoyed. Probably shouldn't have phrased it this way, but whatever the fuck. I was just like, listen, like, when have Jewish people faced like institutionalized oppression? By that I meant like violent oppression, Jim Crow, whatever. But hey, because I didn't like word it tightly enough, you leave yourself open to it, right? So I said, when have Jews ever been institutionally oppressed in the United States? And I was getting everything from like, well, they wouldn't let us into the. I shit you not, people actually said this. They wouldn't let us into the YMCA. Hey,
well, yeah, the Young Men's Christian
what does YMCA stand for?
Yeah,
they wouldn't let us into country clubs. They wouldn't let us into Ivy League schools.
Which that was my favorite one. I'm like, oh man, dude, like Jewish people and Jewish people and Asian people formed together. The ultimate complaining about not getting into college Powerball. Remember when we had to care about that? Remember when that was super important that we care about
people not getting into Harvard?
Again, yeah, and it was like everybody was like look, it was fucking stupid when it was all like YMCA bullshit, when it was all like when white people were saying it was like, oh, we can't get into college. Everyone was like, yeah, that's really stupid. Shut the fuck up. And they were right to say that. It was a really stupid thing to complain about. But then the problem is that all of a sudden 2 years later, it's just like, We need to talk about the anti-Asian animus that's going on in our university. Shut up! It's the same fucking thing. Again, it's just, this is why I'm telling you, we are getting ready for the white boy cultural renaissance.
No, dude, no,
because
Rory,
like we're
legitimately.
No, I agree.
I never thought this was going to happen to me. All right, I actually felt just like a little strum of sympathy on my heartstrings for white men. So I was like, y'all gotta put up with white women. Fuck.
Oh. Dude, we got to put up with everyone's bullshit. No, literally everyone's bullshit we have to put up with. Like, it's just like non-stop on the internet. It's like,
fuck you. You have to put up with mine. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you don't give out the same. When it's just like we need to talk about like how white men are doing all this bad. It's like, dude, leave me the fuck out of it, dude. White men objectify black women's hair. No, we don't. No, we don't. I lived my whole fucking life in northern Idaho. I never had to deal with this shit until you have forced me into learning about it. Okay, like I don't want to know about it. I never wanted to know about it, and for some reason, I'm catching strays.
Dude, check this response. My mother's friend literally inherited a house in the town who got sued in 2018 for continuing to enforce a charter banning Jews from owning property there. Bayview, Michigan, motherfucker.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Wait, my mother's friend literally inherited a house in a town who got
sued in 2018.
Was the house or the town?
The town got sued.
Wait, what's? Oh, Bayview, Michigan. Yeah, it's a racially
Hold on. Used to be a racially restrictive covenant, but it changed to become a religiously restrictive covenant, which is still like, okay, that still sounds pretty bad. Until I went and looked up, hey, what was happening out in Bayview, Michigan that has got this like twist? So I go look up like the lawsuit that residents filed against the Bayview Homeowners Association. Hang on a second.
Let's pull this up.
Yeah. Sorry for the wait, guys. Sorry, yeah, the Bayview Chautauqua Inclusiveness Group sued the Bayview Association.
Sorry, what was it called again?
The Bayview Chautauqua Inclusiveness Group.
That's not real. They didn't call it that. We're the inclusiveness group. We are a group. We are a group of inclusive people. We include everyone.
Okay, but check this out. All right. Jews and other non-Christians can't buy a home in the community, which is just northeast. According to one of his bylaws, the homeowners must be of Christian persuasion. I was like, sounds odd.
What year was this?
Hold on, it was originally back 2018. It was 2018. So back in like the early 20th century, there were obviously a racial.
Wait, can I, as the actual lawyer here, can I explain this because I do actually know about this?
Yeah, go ahead.
So they can't, like, here's the thing. This is bullshit because they can't actually, like, this was never enforced. That's the problem that they're missing is that these things still exist they still exist on the books. Yeah, they do still exist on the books, but they're not enforceable.
Hold on. This was kind of different. So what it's a cottage community, right? So in order to be able to buy within this, like, it's not like it was like a town that enforced these rules. It's a homeowners association on a cottage resort. So,
oh no,
it was founded. Hold on, it was founded by Methodists, right? And they did actually have a racially restrictive covenant. It said non-Christians and non-whites up until like the 1960s. I believe it was like struck down due to the Civil Rights Act. What they did was they changed the language for it to say just non-Christian. But here's the thing: it didn't. The language never said anything about Jews. Never did. The only reason that Jewish got brought up was because a Jewish person wanted to buy a home there and saw the bylaw that the homeowners association had put in, and they said, "Well, this isn't okay." So they brought it to like a local nonprofit, and the nonprofit says, "Oh yeah, we're going to file a lawsuit on your behalf. Don't worry about that." And they ended up actually settling out of court. So hold on. So what happened was that the community could actually keep like all of the rec center and the church and all these other like pro-Christian like local fixtures, but they had to take the non-Christian language out of their charter. So they had already taken off the racially restrictive covenant when it got struck down by the CRA, but they kept the non-Christian, like the religious, I guess, restrictive covenant, and that also got taken down. But it didn't say anything about Jews.
And I'm gonna also guess that like if they never really enforced it either, like just nobody noticed. Like that I think was the thing. Like because again, most of the time the charter here's the thing. The charter is very rarely something you sign off on. It's usually written into the purchase of the land as like essentially like when you get your deed. It like the rules are written into it because usually that's how like these sorts of things are enforced. Like for example, if you live in what's the place? Not Austin, Texas, but the place that doesn't have zoning, Houston. There we go. Most of Houston is actually like people say, oh, there's no zoning in Houston. No, there is. It's just that it's written into the deeds. Like it actually runs with the land. It's not like an official government sponsored. Like there's no zoning department, but when you purchase a piece of land to develop, you write into the lease like this is only to be used for residential purposes, right? And when you buy the land, it is subject to those terms, like the terms of the community. And so what ended up happening is I think they probably switched around the official charter of the community because I'm going to just take a guess and say that they never didn't sell it to someone. No. I think that's a thing.
Here's the thing: like,
right?
there's these covenants keep popping up again over and over and over and over in the news. Like even it was like last spring or summer. Some Vancouver resident bought a home and found like the language of a racially restricted covenant in their house's deed. So they were like shocked and disgusted. But here's the thing: they just can't be enforced. Like. Based on like for the U.S., it's based on your constitution in Canada. It's based on charter rules. Like, no, you simply can't enforce them. But here's the problem: they don't. Like the municipality is not going to actively take them out of the language unless someone brings it to their attention and says, "Hey, I'd like to." So somebody has to go to City Hall and put forward a deposition saying, "Yeah, there's X, Y, and Z language in the charter of my neighborhood. I would like to have this removed." So you, as a local resident, have to bring that forward, and then City Council will say, "Oh, wow, that was."
Here's the thing: it's not even that. You actually have to take it to the Secretary of State's, like the Office of Record
Here it's your local municipality. I guess it's different in the U.S., but here.
Yeah, no. In the U.S., you have to actually get it struck from your deed, and there's no real way of doing that other than like going in, like person by person and striking it because we don't. Records, at least in the U.S., are not super. It's kind of surprising how, like property records are just very archaic in this country. Like it's not something you can easily search. You actually have to go to like a Secretary of State's office and like dig through property records. Sometimes they can be it can be very expensive and very hard to do, which is why like racially restrictive covenants remain in people's deeds. It's not because like it's just nobody ever took the time. If grandma bought the house, like she probably didn't check to see if it had a racially restrictive covenant. One, because the lawyer that bought the house, like the one that she hired when doing that purchase, probably just didn't mention it to her because why would you mention it to her? Like there's no, up until recently, lawyers wouldn't mention it to people because it was just like, who cares? It's basically an unnecessary part of the deed. Like it's not enforceable. It has no binding power. So why would you
because if it runs up against federal laws against anti-discrimination, it will never stand. So what's the point? Yeah, I found it. So it was May of last year, right? So this lady who I guess like found this language in her deed, took it to the city, and was waiting for a fairly long time for it to be struck in the deed, right? Because here, like the municipalities have the power over housing. So it says in the deed, no person of the African or Asiatic race or of African or Asiatic descent, except servants of the occupier of the premises and residents, shall reside or be allowed to remain on the premises. Right. So to submit it to City Council, I guess like it fell off of City Council's list of priority items, which no shit.
It's low.
It's really I get like it's you don't want that on your deed, but at the same time, on the list of things like budget concerns and like keeping libraries open and fixing potholes or whatever the fuck, sometimes this shit just, slips through the cracks. So the city asked her to submit it again. And, the resident said, like, yeah, this makes me feel really icky having to submit this again. I don't like this being on my deed, which, yeah, obviously it's terrible. But these things don't exist on deeds because the cities are trying to keep them or trying to enforce them. They're just vestiges of a worse era. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and even back then, it was like the way that like it was just a way to like sell it to people. Like, don't worry, your property
Value
values
is
will
A-okay.
remain.
Don't worry, we're not going to have any of them moving in. But here's the other thing. Like, bro, unless they're doing blockbusting, unless you like have a brick going through your window or a cross being burned on your lawn, which, I mean, this happened to black people, and I'm not saying it didn't happen to Jewish people ever. I'm just saying, like, come on, dog. We cannot compare the two. We just can't. We can't. It's not possible. Well,
But
anyway,
people were trying in your mentions, weren't they?
oh my, it's been an all day thing. But hold on a second. So somebody put me up on like the lore of this lady, who decided, who told me to buckle up, motherfucker, and check this out. And yeah, apparently she like it was one of those. She's like one of the vestiges of GamerGate that just ends up becoming a complete fucking menace to every company that she works with.
Guild Wars Studio fires 2 employees. Oh no!
Really? Okay.
Guild Wars 2 developer ArenaNet has fired 2 of its developers following a disagreement with a streamer on Twitter. Narrative designer Jessica Price and Peter Fries, who've been with ArenaNet for more than 12 years, were dismissed for what ArenaNet's calling a failure to uphold our standards of communicating. On July 3rd, narrative designer Price tweeted a 29.
She was using her hands too much.
29 tweet thread dissecting the challenges of writing player characters in a massively multiplayer online RPG.
Oh, hold on, let me see this shit.
A streamer who goes by Deroir responded, "Really interesting thread to read. However, allow me to disagree slightly," and shared a 3-tweet explanation of how narrative design influences player expression in the sort of games that Price narratively designs. Price both replied directly to Deroir, tweeting, "Thanks for trying to tell me what we do internally, my dude. First of all, when somebody says my dude, just know you're going to be the..."
I feel like you should be allowed to have like a covenant in your deed where it's like if somebody says my dude in an annoying way
property.
On the internet, you just don't. You're not allowed to. They can't own property. Like they're just citizens.
And retweeted his response with the caption, "Today in being a female game." Jesus tits.
Oh, good lord.
Can you like scroll down? I already hate her. I really hope
the
she
next
is.
rando
I hope
asshat
she
who
loses
attempts
that
to
house.
explain the concept of branching dialogue to me as if, having worked in game narrative for a fucking decade, I have never heard of it, is getting insta-blocked, she added. PSA. Price's suggestion that Deroir was mansplaining game development, an area where he does sparked anger among the ArenaNet community. She subsequently responded to criticizing her on Twitter that "I'm not on the clock here. I'm not your..." This is fucking awesome. "I'm not your courtesan because I'm a dev. Don't expect me to pretend you here." Price was fired.
"I'm not your emotional courtesan."
She wanted to sound more sophisticated than saying whore, so she went with courtesan.
I'm not your emotions.
I'm not
whore.
your emotions prostitute. Okay.
No, she just wanted
trick.
to. Yeah, she wanted to sound more sophisticated, so she went with courtesan.
Although many fans are
something like working in a restaurant, be polite to the customer getting fired. Price says it's impossible to talk about this incident without larger context about systematic online harassment. Here's that Gamergate language creeping back in. Systematic online harassment. Oh, this is why she got fucking locked in on my tweet, because I said institutional, and it's just, like the belt, like fucking Pavlov's dog. She just started slobbering. The sometimes abusive relationship between fans and game developers and the failure of game companies to address it. Game companies are generally unwilling to be honest with themselves about how they're complicit in creating and sustaining that environment, she tells Verge. Many companies expect developers to have frequent contact with players, and since creatives are perceived as being responsible for the way the game is more than customer support, companies are basically tying up their employees and setting them on the railroad tracks for angry. Okay, dude, like, Your company didn't fucking tie you to the railroad tracks. You
snidely whiplash. Get the fuck out of here.
I was about to say several slurs just now. Thank you for interrupting me. No, I really do. Thank you for interrupting me. I would have gotten our channel like demonetized just now. Don, no one told you to fucking tweet.
Nope.
Nobody told
you. You did not have to respond. You didn't have to say anything. You made a choice to.
Female developers who experience more abuse and are expected to perform more
emotional
labor.
Oh, Melody,
which is kind of by the way, it's kind of funny that this woman was like screaming at you on the internet, like as if you're supposed to put up with her. Again, it's like you know how
labor, Q.
you know how they say like every accusation is a what is it? Every accusation is a projection. It's like like they treat people like it's your emotional job.
Like,
to, like,
bitch, I'm not your emotional tampon. All right, like I don't know. Listen, I'm not your ex-boyfriend. I'm the one to be mad at. Go call him up or write.
Call your dad, dude. I don't give a shit.
Write your ex-boyfriend a very long letter, okay? Go into the backyard, dig a hole, and put a letter in there.
This
I don't fucking care. I don't care. I don't. Dude, when
this incident may have been the first time
I put her on this whole story about the racially restrictive covenant on Jews in Bayview, Michigan, whatever the fuck. Yeah, when I brought it to her attention, she fucking blocked me.
Of course she did.
Of course she did. Not surprised, dude. Again, like these
shame, insults, guilt need to be right.
We gotta get that on like the soundboard or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's the thing, like you guys have to understand that, like again, all of this none of this stuff has ever been about social justice. None of this stuff has ever been about improving anyone's life. All of this stuff has just been about listen to me. That's what it is. It's listen to me. I've gone through hell, and I need you.
No, it's been about.
I need you to listen to me. I need you to center me. I need to make sure that my voice is being heard. I'm sick and tired of hearing your voice, even though we've never met. And we're just like interacting in an online space, whatever. Like I think we've heard enough of your voice. I have to deal with it every day. It's time for you to listen to me. And that's all this is. And I'm sorry, it's how it's always been. It hasn't just started with Israel. It didn't start with Palestine. It's been going on for years, and it's always been the same. Even when the leftist lefties thought that was a good thing, it was the same kind of person. They just didn't
know what happens. It's the golem. It's the story of the golem. Now it's broken containment. You can't control it anymore. Okay,
you can't control it. Now everybody is talking like this.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, well, we need to bring it back to all the only the groups that I think are allowed to talk like this.
No, we never should have been. None of us should have been talking like this in the first.
You can't. You should never have talked like that in the first place. That was the thing. All this again. I was saying this to you today, Q. Where it's like the problem with, how would I put this? The problem with like this standpoint theory, like listen to voices, is that it presumes the fact that the most psychotic people are always going to be white. So it's like, oh yeah, the most racist psychotic people are always going to be white. And it's like, no, what you've done is just given like the most insane psychotic like people of color or POC, black people, white people, like whatever in any group, you've just given the most psychotic people like blank check to just go fucking
whatever,
nuts. Dude. And nobody can correct you. It's the worst is fucking Latino people, like where it's like some guy from like some like 5th generation guy from like I don't know like Cuba or something. He's like, yeah, we need to like set fire to people on the border, and you're like, wait, what? That's crazy. And it's like, you're actually saying this is like a deep issue in the Latino community, and it's like, no, you're just a racist. Like
you're trying to silence my voice
you're trying to talk over a person of color. And it's like exact dude. Like, and I'm telling you, like it has always been this bad. Like, and now you're starting to see, like, you've just given the Candace Owens of the world, the real, like, again, American Hitler is just going to be like some Latina chick that's in the Republican Party, probably, if there is one. It'll be that. No, we don't have enough Turkish people here. That'll be like the actual. That'll be the second Austrian Hitler. But the first like. No, the American Hitler will just be like a Latino Hitler who's just, and it's like, no, it will be, and they'll just say the most psychotic shit. And again, because like 60% of the American population is white, like that just means like 60% of the people.
Although I will say, like Hindu women are really gunning for it. Like Tulsi Gabbard, and obviously like Nikki Haley. You know, they're
just psychos.
They're both just like, no, fuck it, just kill every Muslim, kill them all.
Just kill every single Muslim, and you can't say anything bad about me because I'm a POC.
Exactly.
It's misogynist, and it's like, no, you've just created like a way to just run cover for some of the worst language, and surprise, surprise, like it's now being used against you, and it's like, well, now what? It's like, and the thing is like, well, the problem is that the wrong people are using it. It's like, no, the problem is that it's always going to be the wrong people that are going to use it. It's always going to be that. It will always be that way. It's always going to be, it's going to end up with the wrong people using it the wrong way. And so that's why you just don't do it in the first place. Like, I'm sorry, the one thing that they did get right about white people is that like you should be able to yell at us. And look what it did. It made us cool. It made us more normal. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, there's some real fucking wacko white people, but they're like way on the periphery. Like, it's like those guys that
I will say, not exactly, because then a lot of white people even white guys got in on this, on the whole act of doing this. White people.
Oh yeah, well, okay, that
they certainly did.
Bitch, you are white.
No,
you are white.
I know, dude.
And
I know. It's like, oh, I'm so sick.
I'm so sick and tired of white people, or like, oh, I'm so sick of white men.
You're describing every white person in the K-Hive right now. That's what they do.
Well, no, yeah. Here's the thing. Again, keep in mind, like, I just mostly deal with conservatives now, which is nice. I never have to hear that. Never have to hear it.
You don't need to hear about trauma.
Here's something that you two just don't have to deal with that I do, and I swear to God, it's going to put me, like, it's going to hospitalize me one day. Is people who talk to me and they say, "Listen, I know I'm a white person, and I know that I'm privileged in many ways that you're not. Please cut that fucking preamble out of your vocabulary. Don't ever do that to me. Don't do that shit. I hate that so goddamn much. You know what you've just done? You've basically like asserted your superiority over me. But you're a fucking peasant. You don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, I make more. Okay, listen, I know more than you. I make more money than you. I'm happier in life generally. Like, what are you trying to do? Put me down like that? I know I have more privilege than you. Bitch, if you don't get the fuck out of my face, don't do that to me.
Yeah. Again, it's actually worse. You know what it is? It's like getting flicked in the balls versus getting like punched in the balls. Where it's like, it's like they think that it's like, well, I'm not being as bad as like a racist conservative white guy, and it's like, yeah, I agree, you're not. You're being worse, right? You're trying to save face while doing it. Just be racist. I'm sorry. Like,
here's the thing.
It'll be more entertaining.
I was just
going to deal with.
If you say something racist to me, it might actually be funny. I don't know.
It might actually be funny. This will never be funny. This privilege shit, it's never been funny. It is congenially unfunny. It's less funny than an Israeli person, which that should really.
I'm
Israeli. No, that's yes.
What was the one funny left, or the one funny leftist podcast was Jabba Trap House, and it's also the one that every single one of these people accuses of being fascist.
Okay.
Which goes to show you, like, humor is inherently
and
fascist.
By the way, I was just about to say, not like blank with blank, and I'm just going to say it. I couldn't actually believe it because me and Rory were just talking about, like, I was just trying to come up with as a bit, like, we're just like trading jokes. And I was thinking to myself, like, what would be the most boring fucking podcast on the left I could possibly think of? And I came up with the name, Coffee with Comrades. This motherfucker tells me that's actually a real podcast that exists.
Oh no, that's an
actual
real
podcast. Somebody actually called it.
it.
I was deliberately trying to think of the worst, most boring podcast imaginable, and yeah, the name exists. Coffee with Comrades.
Yeah, Coffee with, like, it's a real podcast. It really exists, and it really sucks. It's so no, it's just it's such low. It's such a low energy podcast, man. I'm
What are they
sorry.
talking
Like, it
about? Just like
sucks so.
the
They just talk about the same stuff that Chapo talks about, except they get emotionally invested in it, which means that I hate it. It's like, again, like, instead of just being like funny and like just irreverent and not caring, because honestly, it's a fucking podcast. What are you gonna do? It's like, no, this is really serious. We really need to get to the bottom of this. We need to really sit down and really dig through what it is that makes this problem tick, and maybe find a solution for it. It's like, it's a podcast.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. You're sitting around and talking. Like, nothing else is going to happen but you sitting around and talking. That's all that's going to happen.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I'm just so sick of this. I'm sick of the thing that actually is making the thing that I'm most sick of is the people that are trying to run cover, right? Or they're trying to be like, well, yes, this is all very embarrassing and bad, but it's just because we're misusing the language, or they're misusing like social justice terms. Like, no, they're just using them. They're using them the same way. It's just finally now it's somebody you disagree with. We've moved far away enough from like Johnny Depp with a crow stapled to his head that now it's now a problem. Now we're closer to like the guy in Pirates of the Caribbean, Keira Knightley's like husband.
Oh yeah,
Orlando Bloom.
The wig. No, the other guy, the guy with the wig, the bad guy.
Oh, Geoffrey Rush?
No, the short British guy.
Oh, the short British guy. I don't remember the actor's name.
Yeah, like that. Those are the spectrum. It's like Johnny Depp or it's like the British guy from Pirates of the Caribbean. That's one angle. That's the one guy you don't want to be. And then there's Johnny Depp from the Lone Ranger with a crow staple to his head, and that's the good guy. So you fall somewhere on that spectrum, and this is the moment where it like went from being in the crow on the head spectrum to like fully into the like other side of the spectrum, where it's like, because again, and people will be like, wow, this is just anti-indigenous or whatever. It's like, no, there were plenty of indigenous tribes that were totally normal and like were like did trade and stuff. Like they weren't like doing Colors of the Wind. Like, I'm sorry, like it just is.
No, here's the thing. When again, it's white people that do this, because like I don't know any Indigenous Canadians. I don't know any Native Americans that talk like this. I just don't. I don't. Like I generally know cool people, right?
Yeah,
they don't talk like that. Like one person I'll actually call my bud, even though like we haven't really like met. We just talk a lot.
We fought.
Yeah, exactly. We're in a bathroom.
We sent each other nudes. It's fine. It's not a big deal. No, we're gonna get married.
This writer, Robert Jago, and he's actually one of the most sensible people that I know of. Like he doesn't really.
Carl Jago.
No, it's Robert. He's from like the Stolo Reservation out west, and he will say things that a lot of people just won't say, which then is great because it's like, well, okay, great. Now I don't have to like sit around. I don't have to like sit up with these like complete misconceptions about what it is that Indigenous people in Canada want generally, or that they're all on the same page. But he's just like, yeah, some of us are like complete assholes. Some of our band chiefs are crooks and thieves. Some of us have like completely conflicting desires and wants. If you talk about, for example, like like no pipelines, no Trans Mountain pipeline, a Métis might actually say, "But I want the Trans Mountain pipeline." Why? Because they financially benefit. So it's like that. Like you can't just say Indigenous and expect that you're like covering the whole spread, because now you've actually done a kind of a reductionist thing. You've made up like a dime store Indian in your head. Like you've literally like you've concocted the image of like the Indian in that commercial where when you litter he cries one single tear.
You're doing the woke noble savage is what you're doing.
Welcome exactly to our reservation, Martin.
How? You've just made that guy up. You just made that guy up, but now it's woke, and he also totally agrees with you on everything you believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's like I'm sorry. It's like
Oh,
we need to
Buffy
listen
Saint
to our.
Marie. Ooh, I don't know if you guys heard about that one.
No.
Listen,
But
I will say.
before we get into that, I was just
Yeah.
going to say, you want to know how we know social justice language is dead? Because the official Israeli account is tweeting like a social justice warrior. That's how you.
Oh,
That's
dude.
how you
Okay, can I
know
just
it's
say?
reached. It's reached. Actually, no, it's not dead. It's reached its logical endpoint. This is always what it was. It was always where it was
This is
going.
where it was going to go always. Yeah.
Can I just say? I'm looking at like a picture of Buffy Saint Marie, and it's like I didn't know. Like it's like that. Like that girl that got killed in the dance club, or like the one woman that the Israeli Barak Dondarrion, where she keeps being alive and then dead again. It's true. It's like every 6 weeks, or every week, it's like she's dead. It's like no, she's really dead this time. Like
no, they listen.
Oh, she's 100% dead, dude. Look at her
Luke,
leg.
right? Shawnee Luke.
Yeah, Shawnee Luke. They found a skull. They
dude,
found a
I'm
skull
sorry.
fragment, though.
Buffy Saint Marie just looks like an aged up version of her. I'm sorry, she does, dude. Like dude. Buffy Saint Marie looks just like every single white chick at like a trance concert. You notice how they did
Shawnee Luke so dirty too? Because originally they were saying her age was 23, and then the next time I saw it, it had jumped to 30.
Yeah.
I was like,
no, it's back to 23.
Yeah, well, they were like, she had like 3.
Is it?
She had like 3 kids or something. I'm like, cool, good for her. But like, also my favorite was when people are like, she's definitely dead, dude. Look at her leg. I'm like, what does that mean?
She looks like
it's a still picture.
Peter Griffin after falling down the stairs. I don't know.
Actually, but yeah, it's like look at someone's leg. Like people have sustained like pretty serious leg injuries and not been killed. Yeah, but now they're like, oh, she's definitely dead. We found like a piece of her skull. Like what?
Out of all, like you just found a skull fragment in the rubble. You had a crack CSI team that was able to like return back to you the DNA match. Because you had a DNA on file, by the way. Is it like, dude, like how much you go along with you?
Which here's the thing, I will say that like in a country with mandatory military conscription, like it's not insane that they'd be able to trace her DNA that quickly, or not that quickly, but they'd be able to trace
within
it
a day, bro.
that quickly. Yes, but the fact that people are like, well, how did they have her DNA on file? It's like if they have any of her family members,
if any country is going to have like a rapid access to a DNA database, sure, fine, it's going to be Israel.
It'll be one.
I will agree with you on that. I'll agree with you on that.
Where I will say is it's weird.
However,
it's like, so wait, this hospital service was in Gaza. Like they're like, ooh, look, it's a skull fragment. Let's just pick that up.
That's what I'm trying to say.
To take it back.
Out of all the wreckage you've come across, what is this? This looks like this looks like an Ashkenazi skull fragment. Hang on. You see
let's put this in my pocket.
Hey, no. Hey, Yoav, come on over here. Do you see the dimple on the skull? Does that not look Ashkenazi to you?
Yeah. Does that not look like a woman who had dreads in her life?
Yeah, it's just like, why would they pick up that particular skull? Like in the middle of like an ongoing conflict, like, in the same way that I would say like somebody like running off and like assaying like a person in the middle of like a combat, in like the middle of like a firefight. I don't think that like somebody's going to be in like the middle of like pulling people out of rubble or like burnt out tank. They're going to be like, hey, wait a minute, we gotta pick up these bones that we found on the ground. Like, again, my theory on that, by the way, is just that like the IDF knew that they know that she, like, I think she is actually dead. I think that they wouldn't.
Maybe, I don't know.
But like I actually do.
I'm not going to believe a single thing until this conflict is over and everything shakes out. I'm just suspending all of my disbelief on everything.
Yeah. One thing I will say though is that like I do think they know that because here's the thing. The parents of hostages are becoming now like a very serious political problem in Israel.
That's true.
Because they're basically just being like, hey, could you not do this insane war that's crashing our economy?
Drop bombs on the very places where our like children or relatives
are being held? That would be kind of nice. Thanks. And so like it's looking really bad for Netanyahu. And I get the feeling that like they chose to strike a building where they knew she was. And what they didn't want to happen was somebody in the IDF feeling bad and like calling or telling her parents like, "Hey, just FYI, like she's dead, and we know that she's
how do
dead."
you know?
Like,
Because we
sorry.
fucking bombed the building. I don't know what to tell you.
And then having her parents report that to the media, because she was like a very well-known figure, and then the media running with that and it becoming a problem. So what they did is they ended up saying like, "Oh yeah, she's dead, and the reason why she's dead is because we found like a skull fragment. It's not the whole skull; it's just part of it. We don't have the whole body. We just have a skull
first
fragment."
They did say like they found her body, and then they had to like double back and say it was her skull fragment.
Well, they said it was her head at first.
Did they say the head?
No, I thought they said body.
I
thought they said body, and then they said skull fragment.
Because somebody said that she was beheaded, and I was like, wait, so like her head was just like laying out somewhere, like, and we didn't see a picture of that because
I haven't seen an image of a single beheading. Has anybody seen an image of a single beheading? Because I haven't. Not a one.
No. And so like I thought it was at first she was beheaded, and then they were like, well, it wasn't a beheading, it was a skull fragment. So I get the feeling that like they do know that she's dead, and they just they can't say why.
I could totally see that.
Yeah, but guys, I gotta head out here. I gotta run. It's getting a little late for me. It's
gotta go to the gym. All right, yeah. All right, man. Yeah, I guess we could wrap it up. It's 10:15. Oh,
if you want to, if you want to, like you can keep going.
We've been actually, time kind of flew right by. I didn't even realize what time it was. But
yeah.
Thanks everybody for coming by. And we'll be back on Sunday. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I don't know whether it's gonna be on fucking YouTube, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, we might just be going back to Rumble. I have to.
I'm sorry, guys. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I like people's ability to like participate in chat without having to like create a new account and get used to the new platform. I get all that, but like the last
I can't talk like this.
I can't talk like this. Like I'm sorry, I just can't.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting like copyright struck for like 30 seconds of video.
I have to do a challenge to the copyright strike because when we played that footage of that Gollum movie, which like it was not uninterrupted, it was for like the 20 seconds of total footage, and we were commenting on it the entire time, and then boom, struck. Just like, man,
I know. I watched the entire episode today.
See, again, Q and I got into it because at first I thought it was like, 100% it's the Clay Higgins because it was playing the soundtrack from Schindler's List.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that's probably what did it. But then it's like, no, it was this
obscure Israeli movie about a golem. That's crazy.
It's so bad. I know it. Like I agree that I do like being able to like have people interact, but like I'm sorry, like I can't
live like
I don't want to talk like this.
Yeah,
this
having to
like
self-censor.
she was essayed in the back of a T that was being driven by an HT, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of grapists. It's like, oh, come on, dude.
Bro, come on, man. Watch a YouTube video and they say like, oh, grape, and I'm like,
it's so embarrassing.
Like
dude, I'm 30. I'm 30. I work at a law firm, dude. I'm not gonna say.
I'm 45 years old.
I'm in my 40s. Got kids. I'm not talking like that. Anyway.
Yeah, he was they're doing mass grape in the middle of the war. It's like
no, it's just it like we're being.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it. To speak in this infantilizing way is just so degrading. I'm sorry.
It is. It's worse. It's the worst thing I've ever. Like I just don't. It sucks.
It's worse than the Holocaust.
It is probably that they were probably allowed to say grape in the Holocaust. They probably were. I don't think the Nazis ever said that you couldn't say swear
nobody
words.
Nobody at Dachau ever had to like come out of the camps and say they raped me.
Yeah, like there was like we have to talk about getting essayed in the CC. It's like, come on, man, like stop this shit.
And listen, if anybody feels like getting mad at this clip, all I'm gonna say is, I just had to watch a TikTok with some like Israeli glamazon in a really tacky looking fucking bathroom, asking people.
She's not Israeli. She's just in the U.S.
Sorry, just didn't even say Israeli. Yeah, some Jewish glamazon in a tacky bathroom, asking like, "Hey, I don't know if you know about Nazis who Nazis who were terrorists, but if a second Holocaust
terrorist organization, let's get it right.
Organization,
a TO, as they say.
But if another Holocaust happens, which I'm very scared about, by the way,
another HC, another another Jalo crossed, like, oh
God, would you hide me?
I was essayed at Schmirkenau because I guess I can't say Schmirkenau.
Here's the thing. If I want to end on this note. I don't take this shit seriously because these people don't take themselves seriously.
Nope, they don't.
They don't take if they don't take themselves seriously, I don't have to either.
Yeah, it's just, again, it's deeply embarrassing. It's just all. I mean, again, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of YouTube being annoying. I'm just tired in general of social media. I'm probably just gonna stop using Twitter now. I've gotten the 1,000.
We both know that's not true.
I might, dude. I might like fully just get back into like only listening to Game of Thrones and just like working on the computer, not browsing Twitter. Probably. Do you want to bet? I could probably go a week without like being on Twitter.
I wouldn't bet against you. I think you can do it.
Yeah, I'm
talking about like a permanent log off.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I mean, at least for a while, just because, like, dude, I can't. This stuff. It's like
when you start getting into these moods, I can tell that like just the internet is getting on your fucking nerves. And this is around the time that I do say, "Hey, Roy, maybe you want to take a little break." We both for each other.
Yeah, it's one of these things where it's like I'm just getting too annoyed. I'm getting annoyed with people on like the minute you start hearing me get annoyed about leftists, you know that I'm like on the internet too much.
I know that you're
I'm sorry, all of my reply guys are leftists, and they're just like trying to correct me on stupid bullshit. I'm like, stop. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I don't care.
Listen, man, I've had the most annoying people for the last like 3 days getting mad at me because I said like, "Hey guys, like I know you got discriminated against, but let's be perfectly honest. If you're talking about like being afraid as a Jewish person in America, fuck off."
Yeah.
Fuck off. You have absolutely nothing to be afraid of.
What are you worried about? Like,
whatsoever.
The tree of life synagogue happened along. Sure, whatever the fuck. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I don't care. I really don't care. Sorry. They're not going to recognize you from your Zara purse. Like, I don't care. The Gestapo is not kicking in your door. It's just not going to happen. Stop it. You're not taking yourself seriously. You're not. You're just not. Like, hey, again, it's like the mosque I go to, 2 police cruisers in the parking lot. Like I don't walk around. I am so afraid to be a black Muslim man in Canada. You see me talking like that?
Nope.
No, because I'm sorry, it's embarrassing.
Because it's degrading.
Mm-hmm.
It's humiliating to talk like that. Are you kidding me? Now, I will say. I mean, first of all, like unless I'm like wearing the beard and the keffiyeh, nobody can really tell. Like, I trimmed my beard off. Nobody can tell that I'm a Muslim unless I say something. I can't escape being a black person. But how often do you hear me say, "It's just so hard to be a black person in this country"? Sorry. Melanie,
I mean, if you said something like that to me, I would assume you've been taken hostage and we're signaling for your life. Like, there's no way you would ever utter those words seriously.
Like, that's my blink 3 times if you need.
Now I know what the code is. You ever say anything like that, I'm like, okay,
if I start talking like that, like please, like send help. All right, guys. Yeah, we should go. Rory,
Rory, have a great workout.
Peace.